What up, people? Welcome to another edition of In Real Life, the podcast that was out to show what people are really like when the cameras are off and stuff gets real. And as always, this podcast and others in the Jazzy Groove Rainy Day Podcast family are brought to you by the Power of Five. And without any further ado, let's get it started. Today's episode, we're calling it The Outcomes of Delusion. And the reason why we're calling it The Outcomes of Delusion is simply because every action has an equal yet opposite reaction. Or, to put it in layman's terms, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. It is what it is. Now, today we're going to be reacting to a whatever podcast clip. Shout out to Brian Atlas in the whatever podcast. We can talk about them, but that's not important. What's important is this clip, because this clip will pretty much sum up in a nutshell the problem with modern women today. Now, I'm going to chop it up and I'm going to break it down and discuss different things at different points. So without further any other problems here, let us switch screens and we shall begin.
Me, I'm a 10.
Okay.
Do we stop at 10? Let's just say 10. Keep it simple.
I'd give myself a good 9.
9.
To
Okay.
be honest.
Just looks.
Just looks.
8.
8. Okay.
I'm going to say 8.
A 7.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to go with 8.
Okay.
I'm going to go with 8 too. I'm going to say 10.
Period.
Okay. Madison.
We're going to stop it right there. That's going to be the first part. And the first thing that we come to notice is that this panel is totally delusional. And we can tell that, excuse me, we can tell that simply by the ratings. Now, going from right to left, 10, 10, 9, 8, 8, 7, 7, 8, 8, 10. And to punctuate it, this one says everybody's a 10. Now, let's stop with Delusion Queen. That's what we're going to call her. Because there is an inherent problem with her assessment. And it's simply this. If you follow her logic to its logical conclusion, everybody's a 10. Then if everybody's a 10, then nobody's a 10. I'll say that again. If everybody's a 10, then nobody's a 10. How does that work? I cram to understand. How does that work? It can't work. And to break it down even further, let us remember what this whole scale pertains to. 0, don't even come outside. Your dog doesn't even like you. Up to 10, perfection. Perfection is one of those concepts that everyone aspires to but will never get. I don't care what you do, you'll never get it. Simply because perfection is a concept. That's why people can say they're a 10. Subjectively, no. No, objectively, no, they're not. Let's go around the scale just to check these kicks out. This Asian here, she looks good. She's a 7. The Lady Gaga wannabe, 6. Can't tell her face right now, but she ain't a 9. 7, 7, 7, 7, no, 6. You're a 5, just for the lips. Either you got your butt handed to you, or the doctor overdid it on the filler. And you're a 4. Why are you a 4? Because you're as plain as day. There's nothing special about you. Nothing. Sorry. But that's my ratings. Back to the video.
Listen, what about you?
Gosh, you know what? The thumbnail you're using back there, Nick. I like that thumbnail you're using back there. I'd say I was like a 9.5. But like right now, I'd say I'm about an 8.
Okay.
So, we got some work to do,
All
but
right.
that's what makes life so.
He gave himself an 8. He's a Chad. He's a looker. As my boy Marcus used to always tell me about people like that, he's Mr. Cute Boy. So yeah, he's an 8. And he could be a 9 on a good day. I don't know. I don't look at guys like that. I don't rate guys like that. But I can see him being an 8, definitely. Brian says he's a 5. Yeah. But something that Madison's going to come up on that bears repeating is that guys can be harsh with guys. They'll take it for what it is, and they'll make adjustments and move forward. Women, no. Not so much, no. They're going to gas you up. They're going to tell you what you want to hear as opposed to what you need to hear.
Fun.
You're beautiful.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
I think everybody's a 10.
Right. Thank you.
I give myself, I used to say 6, but I'm a 5 because I've gained some weight. I've got a fucking dad bod right now. I need to lose it. I've gotten chubby, so I'm a 5.
He gave himself a rating and then actually explained why. Did he have to explain it? No, but he did. He was a 6, he's now a 5 because he's put on some weight. Now, the women on the panel, if you notice, were like, no, 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 no. And when it's a girl, oh, no, you're not. You're a 10 queen. You're a 10 queen. Why? Why are they a 10? Because they're a woman. Guys are honest with each other. Women are deceitful. Are all women like that? No. But too many of them are. How many times have you been to a women are about to go out and one of their friends comes out and she's looking dusty? You wouldn't be caught dead in what she's wearing. How do I look? You look fine, queen. You're fabulous. Why lie? Why lie? You wouldn't want to look like that. So why lie? because it's socially acceptable for them to lie, which does nobody any favors. Getting back to the video again.
The great part about being a guy
Straight
is
up.
if you need to lose weight or anything, you can just ask your friends, like, text me once in a while and just say, hey, you're fat. And you'll be like, oh, but you can't do that. It doesn't work with women. But like for
See? He called it. I called it. Guys can tell each other you're fat, you're dusty, you're getting kind of big there. You might want to lose some weight. And they'll take it for the most part. Now, there are guys out there that'll get offended and get our butt hurt. Yes, there are. But for the most part, you tell a guy something like that, he's going to take it on board. Because it's coming from a place of love. And guys are harsh. That's how we talk. That's what we are. We are blunt and we are to the point. If you want embellishment, you better ask somebody else. And over here, her mouth, she could catch flies. Did you see her mouth? Let's rewind that back just a little bit. And let's play it again.
you need to lose weight or anything, you can just ask your friends, like, text me once in a while and just say, hey, you're fat. And you'll be like,
See? I can't believe that. Welcome to our world. And you are as plain as the day is long. But you don't think so. Why don't you think so? You don't think so for the same reason that most women out there don't think so. And for that, we can look at ourselves and blame ourselves. Because somebody, somewhere, at some point, wanting to get wet, lied to you and told you you look good. And being that something that you want to hear, you took it on board. No hesitation, no reservation, no anything. He thinks I look good, I must look good. No, sister, no. He wants to hit it. He wants to smash. And to him, in his mind, the only way to get there is to butter up his victim. So anything that you want to hear that's going to make you look good, he's going to say it. Because the end result of his attention towards you is to get in your drawers. There is nothing special about this girl whatsoever. But she'd be the first person talking about black girl magic. Only magic I can see is make you go poof and disappear. And I say this, again, not for any disharmony, or I'm not trying to knock her down. It's like, I'm being honest with her. She's not going to take it that way. That's a given. She's not going to take it away at all. But it is from a place of love. I'm telling you what I'm telling you because I want you to be better. And the first thing that has to happen is you have to identify the problem, acknowledge the problem, and then take steps to correct the problem. Remember, us guys, for the most part, are problem solvers. You give us a problem, we're going to attempt to solve it. But no, everybody's a 10. No, nobody's a 10. especially not on this panel. Let's get back to it.
Like, oh, but you can't do it. It doesn't work with women. But like for guys, brother to brother, it's like it'll be like, yeah, I am. I gotta go work.
So 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 8, 8, 10.
What?
Wait, so 10, 10, 9, 8, 7,
No, I said 7.
8. Did I?
I said 8.
She said 8.
She said 7.
Yeah. 9, 8. Wait, hold on.
8.
Did I skip somebody?
Yeah.
9, 8.
8.
Oh. Okay. 7,
So dead.
8, 8, 10. And you said everybody should be a 10,
Everybody
correct?
should be a
Yes.
10.
Everyone should.
Absolutely.
Everyone is a 10?
agree.
Everyone
Our
is a
table
10?
is full of
I
beautiful
think
women. Are you
everybody
kidding
at
me?
this table is a 10.
You think
if you're
everyone
not
at the-
confident in yourself, that's you, but I feel like everybody's a 10.
So should all
Yeah, I
women
think
view
so, too.
themselves as 10s?
Yes.
Why
Should
not?
should all are wait, hold on. Are all women 10s?
Yes.
I think so.
I think my personality is a 10, but
Well,
like,
looks.
I'm
We're
a
talking
7,
looks.
so.
So are all women 10s?
No,
I think if a
Why not? Why not? All women are, you women are 2 or 10s, right? So why not? Why can't everybody be a 10? Because of their competitive nature. I'll tell you. Every woman on this panel, on this podcast, is in direct competition with each other for the affections of a good-looking man. For him. Whatever their definition of him is, that is the end goal. Yes, they want to look good and they dress because they want to look good, this, that, and the other thing, but in the back of their mind, whether they want to admit it or not, they dress up for attention. And the attentions and affections of a good-looking guy. Preferably high-value good-looking guy. But they'll take a good-looking guy in a pinch. Yeah, and this one here, she's not a 9. She's a 7.5, 8. This Lady Gaga wannabe, she's a solid 6. And again, I'm not being harsh on them. I'm being honest. That is what, if someone told me they were going to parade these chicks in front of me and I'll still rate them, that's what I rate them. Simple as that. Let's get back to it.
woman views it, like, let's say a woman has really low self-esteem and she views herself as a 5, I don't think that woman's a 10.
There you go.
Wait. I'm a little confused by that, but okay.
Confidence.
Yeah.
I'm confused too. If a woman has self-esteem and rates low self-esteem and rates herself a 5, then she's not a 10. She's not a 10 because she rated herself a 5. What are you saying? The delusion is real and in full effect. If a woman has low self-esteem and considers herself a 5, then she's not a 10. Obviously not, because she thinks she's a 5. And you don't know, and it might not be because she has low confidence or low self-esteem or low value, whatever. She may say, I'm a 5. I'm average. And newsflash for all you chicks out there. There's nothing wrong with being average. Most people out there are average. I've told people countless times, I'm better looking than some and not as good looking as others. I give myself a solid 6. I can dress up to be a 7. I wear it well. But, okay, I'm slightly above average, but still, there's nothing wrong in that. I don't think anybody at this panel would like anybody else at this panel to call them average. It's perceived as an insult, but it's not. It's the truth. It's not a truth. It's not my truth. It's not Brian's truth. It's not Madison's truth. It's the truth. That's something, and shout out to my friends at Uncomfortable Truth for what they do, but that is a whole cold, hard, uncomfortable truth that people better start listening to. You're not special. You're not a queen. You're not a 10. You need to start understanding this. You're punching above your weight. Let's get back to this video because it's going to get interesting. And for once, I'm going to hand it to Brian. And you'll see why in a minute.
About
It
confidence,
is.
for sure.
Wait, so but do you guys think that all women are 10s?
No.
All men are 10s too.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Are all men 10s?
No.
Yeah, it's all
But I thought-
mentality, really.
Wait, but
like
did-
the bottom of the
See how fast they were like, no. Look how fast they went with that. No. All women are 10s, unless they have low self-esteem, then they're not 10s. But no guy is a 10, according to these brain dead logic. Make it make sense. The math is not mathing. Going back to the original thing that this girl here was saying, everybody's a 10. So if everybody is a 10, then nobody's a 10. Because everybody's perfect. There's nothing to compare it against. Because we all reached perfection. Which we know is an impossibility. We can't be perfect. That is another cold, hard, uncomfortable truth. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you say. Nobody is perfect. Nobody's special. Don't believe me? I don't know if they do it here, but here's a homework assignment for you. Next time you're with a bunch of friends and there's 2 or more girls, ask them what makes them special. If I had to choose girl A over girl B, why would I do that? And you'll get a bunch of gobbledygook. My personality is on point. I could cook, I could clean, I could house, I could suck, blah, 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 blah. Newsflash for you. Any and every woman could do that. Anybody can cook, anybody can clean, anybody can have sex, anybody can have a winning personality. So that doesn't count. What makes you special? The answer is nothing. Because There's nothing that a woman can bring to the table that a man can't outsource. A chef to cook, a maid to clean, and an escort to have sex with. There's a reason why men like sex, sandwiches, and silence. It is what it is. Oh, man. Let's get back to it.
This is that no one is ugly
Into
and
the
it's
mic.
all mentality.
But
I
we're
agree
rating.
it's all mentality,
it's
but I
not your
don't agree
menta-
that
it's
But we're
everyone-
rating our looks.
Yeah,
we're
it's your
not
looks.
rating about how we feel.
No, I
not-
agree, and that's
you're
why
not
I
rating
say
your
I
confidence.
agree. It's about like
Y'all are 10s in delusion, I can tell you that. You guys have significantly overrated
At least for
almost
10s
every
and
person
something.
here.
but I think everyone's like beautiful.
Almost every person here has overrated
We got a
themselves.
hater. All these girls
for real.
delusional.
Can you
It's
rate us?
wild.
I think, what did you say? You're a 7?
Yeah.
I think that's actually fair rating. The rest of you, however, are delusional.
You don't think I'm
Absolutely.
I think we spotted you off the street, girl, and complimented you up
No,
and
for
down.
real.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the great value Lady Gaga starts it off. Good, gas her up, gas her up. She doesn't need it. And all the girls there's a smiling, yeah, you go queen, this, that, and the other thing. She's a 7. She could probably be a mid 7 to low 8 when she dresses up. Provided she doesn't dress for the clubs. Nice form-fitting dress. You're right. You can already see she's got a coat on. She's got a scarf over her. She's got a halter top, but you can't see anything. Let's go down the list. Cleavage, boobage, cleavage, cleavage. Plunging V-line. Are you going to a podcast or are you going to a club?
I'm not.
Regular Brian
That's
over
all
here.
based on preference.
It's subjective at the end of the day. So.
No, it's not subjective. There's an objective.
That's your
No,
opinion.
I agree that
It's
there's
not
an
my
objective
opinion.
view.
It's your
It's not my opinion.
is.
No, I agree.
No,
A guy can view
you
her
guys
as
are
a
10s in
is your
delusion.
opinion.
A
It's
guy-
not my
You
opinion.
keep saying
A guy can
delusion.
It is
view her
delusional.
You're also
a
sitting here
10
human
to
and
him.
delusional.
Wait,
How am I? But I've
You are.
I've
But
rated
you
myself
shared your-
average
Can I say
in my
something?
physical
But
appearance.
nobody's
That's your
calling you
opinion.
delusional. Nobody's taking any of your opinion and calling you delusional.
No.
But
Because
but
we agree.
We might
I'm not
view you
sitting
as a
here-
3 or a 2,
Right.
but you view yourself
Like a
as
little
5.
lower.
That's our opinion.
Is
Can I
that
say
your
something
opinion?
real
Yes.
quick?
You go ahead, man.
Okay, she
No, I
thinks.
mean not like that you're.
Can I say
But
something?
my
Well,
opinion
go
is
ahead,
different
please.
than yours.
Wait, so just for the
wanna say
chat.
something.
So she thinks I'm a 3, and
No,
she
I didn't
thinks
say that.
she's an 8. That's literally what you just said.
We could view
You
as a
could view
3.
you. Okay.
Yes, but that means that that's our opinion.
Fine, and if you want, yeah, fine. If you think, but there's a little difference. First off, there's a difference of like thinking you're a 5 and you're actually a 3 versus like being a 7 or a 6
That's what we
and
thought.
thinking you're a
In
10.
everyone's eyes, like I view her as a 10.
Right.
You view her. You said you would agree with a 7, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Class is now in session. Question. Who dictates the sexual marketplace? Answer. The marketplace. It sets values. There can be nuances, but all in all, it sets the price. So you could think, and I'd give a shout out to Fresh, aka Walter. I love what he said on a recent podcast I was watching, and we'll probably break that down for you guys in a little bit later on. But he said you could think what you want, but then you go outside and know what you are. You may not like it, but it is what it is. And that is probably one of the most hard, cold truths I've ever heard on any podcast anywhere. You can think what you want. When you go outside, they'll tell you what you are. Because the marketplace, especially the second marketplace, you guys may have access to sex. But even then, we have some leverage, because if we don't think you're hot, we're not going to mess with you. Or, more to the point, we'll have sex with you. We may take you out once or twice. We may spend our resources on you. But will you get the last name? No. And Pearl, shout out to her, she says that and actually her and quite a few other podcasters in the space also said that the object of a relationship is the wedding band. Once you get a band and you say I do, you won. Anything up to that is an L just waiting to happen. Anything. So you can get them to hit it. Ain't no thing for you to hit it. Ain't no thing for you to allow access, because every guy wants it. Or every hetero male wants it. So for you to say, I'm a 10, I'm a 10, I'm a 10. No, you're not. Let's get back to it.
Someone else could view her as a 7.
But-
someone else could view her as an 8.
I got rid of it.
So
Also, that rating is bullshit.
yeah, like
Yeah.
she's a 10. Like what?
There's more
Your
than
your
that.
perception of yourself does not determine how other people see you in the world.
Perfect. That's it in a nutshell. That's the sad truth that nobody here is going to actually acknowledge. What you think about yourself holds no water when it comes to other people and their opinions as to what you look like. I may think you're a 4. Somebody else may think you're a 6. Somebody else may think you're a 3. Somebody else may think you're a 7. Average it out, it's a 5. You're average. And I call it as much. You're average. There's nothing special about you. There's nothing about you that'll make me want to go out of my way to get to know you. Nothing. And that's assuming I was single. I'm married, so there's no choice and there's no chance. But there's nothing about you that make me want to go, woo, she look good, I want to talk to her. No.
I think it
Exactly. Just that's why it's an opinion.
What?
Can
Bro.
I say
That's
something?
what opinion. That's a definition of
Does
opinion.
that not make sense?
Thanks.
Like what?
Can I
No,
say
but it's
something?
literally, it is quite literally delusional. Like,
Keep saying it.
Okay, but
but you think you're a 10.
Yeah, I have.
I'm
the
not gonna be.
confidence
I'm
to
not
say
gonna
it.
rate
Doesn't
you, but you're
matter.
not a 10.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, that's your opinion.
Doesn't matter. I didn't ask
It's
you.
not. It's like it's.
I didn't ask you.
I view her
didn't
It's
ask you.
objectively true. You're not a 10.
I'm not.
She's not a 10. I'll co-sign that. Great value Lady Gaga is not a 10. She got some sort of choker around it. I don't know what it says. She's got a tattoo there on her breast that goes to half of her cleavage. She's not a 10. And she can fight it until the day she dies. She's not a 10. She'll never be a 10. And that's because 10s are not attainable. No, you're not a 10. I'm sorry to tell you. Say what you want. Do what you want. Feel however you want. The marketplace has spoken. You're not a 10. And most guys would never tell you that because they're trying to smash. And that's the whole thing boils down to. All men want to have sex. And it wouldn't be in their best interest to be honest with you if they're trying to sex you. So they're going to tell you what you need to hear with the end result of being sex. They'll tell you whatever you want to hear. They'll make stuff up if they think they're going to get it. And that's when we become a victim of our own success. Because not only do the Chads and Tyrones and Pookies and Ray Rays gas them up, the regular guys gas them up. The ones that they'll actually look at. Because we also know that 80%, that most women think 80% of men as unattractive. Won't even give them a second look. Won't give them a first look. They can talk to them every day and never look at them as anything other than the garbage man, the food clerk, the retail sales associate, the bus driver, the train driver, the truck driver. Taken for granted. And no, that part of it won't change because men have an overwhelming desire to have sex. That being said, if women were to stand up as one and say, we're not giving you any more sex until you put a ring on it. Watch how men straighten up and fly right. Men adapt. If the overriding desire is to have sex, if I've got to wed you to have sex, so be it. Fine, I'll marry you.
Delusional.
Okay,
You're
but
delusional.
No, you're delusional.
Oh, you're delusional.
How am I delusional?
How am I delusional?
You think you're on par with the most beautiful women in the world.
And you think you're...
Ta-da! You think you're on par with the most beautiful women in the world. You, Miss Great Value Lady Gaga. Miss No Frills to all my people up there in New York. Shout out to Pathmark. My No Frills Lady Gaga. And again, you think it's delusion. You think you're delusional. Where did that come from? What are you talking about? He's telling you why, and you're just saying, no, you are. I know you are, but what am I? Talk much? Miss 3-year-old Lady, Great Value Lady Gaga?
Your own opinion.
I think I'm an average-looking guy.
You think your own opinion about me?
I think that's a fairly accurate self-assessment.
I wasn't calling you delusional either. I'm feeding you back your own medicine because that's wild.
Feeding you back your own medicine. No, you're not. You're trying to shame him. Sign language at its finest. Shout out to the late great Kevin Samuels. Shame, insult, guilt, and the need to be right. There was shame. And insult. And this one here's the Asian girl here making faces at the camera. You may knock yourself down on that. Now you're down to a 7. We don't need you to show that you're pretty. Those that say that there's something usually are not. And those who don't say something usually are.
That you're calling these girls delusional. I'm not even taking offense to it. They're not delusional for their own opinion.
I took offense.
That's all.
Yeah.
You took offense too. Because if you didn't take offense, you wouldn't have said anything. I said it. If it didn't bother you, you wouldn't have said anything. Me think thou doth protest too much. Which is a very fine way of saying, yeah, you are. And you're offended. Why are you offended? Why? He's speaking the truth. But it goes afoul of your sensibilities, so therefore you're going to get offended because you feel a certain way. I'm here to tell you, fuck your feelings. Nobody cares. That's why you can think what you want, you can say what you want, you can do what you want. It doesn't matter. Because nobody cares. Not when you come down to it. And all the things that really matter, nobody cares. And I can't, for the life of me, figure out why I got offended. I feel like. To me. Everything is about the first person. This conversation isn't about the first person. So none of you guys are making any sense. He's not talking about you individually. He's talking about women in general. And in this space, we talk about generalities. Because each person is different. You're not special, but you are different. But even though everyone is different, you can start to make general presumptions based upon data, statistics, and evidence, and anecdotal evidence. A pattern starts to emerge, and you can make your inferences off those prepositions, or no, not prepositions, those factors. And look at this one. Butt ugly. I'm sorry. You're not, no, you're a 3 now. Ugh, yuck.
You took offense. Okay,
well,
she took
not
offense.
not on no shady shit, but it's just like I've had a guy tell me I'm a 10, and I've had a guy tell me I'm a 5. So it's
here.
like, you can't really
Did the guy who?
I've had a guy tell me, the guy that told you you're a 10 was trying to hit it. Watch this, guys. Watch this.
called you a 10, did he want to sleep with you?
No, that was my boyfriend of like multiple months. And we didn't.
Of course,
have
your
sex.
boyfriend is gonna like.
So many guys.
Of course,
or
your
a woman
boyfriend
could
is gonna.
view her as a 5 or a 10 or a 7.
But I just feel like you're speaking for every male.
You can't
like,
speak
you
for
can't speak for the whole male population.
I can speak for most men.
I'll tell. In my opinion,
No, you can't.
In my opinion,
In your
I
opinion.
think there are some things like if you look at the over, like let's say 80% of guys that they will find generally attractive in people. It's like okay, if you like body fat percentage is like under 8, like you're probably pretty daggone attractive. If your like height is around this, some things in generalities. But like you,
could like skinny girls,
agree.
some guys could like tall girls,
Exactly.
short
I
girls.
think that like. It's hard to do an objective like rating because it comes down to like it's more like art. It's like
I just feel like you shouldn't say anyone's delusional and rating themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
Well,
but it is delusional.
Speak for everybody.
It is delusional.
Delusion is a Solulu.
Yeah.
Making yourself, inflating your worth to make it more than it actually is the textbook definition of delusion. I think in a minute, Brian's going to actually come across, and he's actually going to give the textbook the textbook definition of it.
I think that
Bro,
it is
hold on,
important
hold on.
to be.
Let me define delusional. So delusional, characterized by or holding false beliefs or judgments about external reality that are held despite incontrovertible evidence to the contrary, typically as a symptom of a mental condition. So that's
How
one.
is it-
Having false or unrealistic beliefs or opinions based on or having faulty judgment mistaken. So you don't dictate when it comes to
Is your
the
picture next
How
to
do
that
you-
definition?
Yeah, but how can you
How is
say
it-
you're delusional for thinking you're beautiful? Or like
So-
you're,
Because you're not. As I said, you can think what you want inside, but but prepare yourself for what happens when you go outside. Miss Lip Filler. Miss Fake Nails. Her fingers look crooked. I don't. Ooh. You're going down to a 6. Straight up, off rip, you're a 6.
If I think I'm pretty, I'm delusional. I have a mental issue.
no.
Okay, let me ask you guys a question.
Thank you, Matt.
Let me ask you guys.
Alright, well,
Yes,
that's literally what
if
you
you're
said.
if you're like objectively unattractive or ugly, I'm not saying that anyone
Okay.
here at the table is, but let's say you're
I get that.
objectively like. Have you ever seen an ugly person?
No.
Have any? Be honest. Have you
Yes.
guys ever seen an ugly person?
Yes.
yes.
See the delusion?
Myself.
See the delusion? He simply said, has anyone seen someone that's ugly? No. Yes, you have. Don't lie.
Did I skip somebody?
Yeah.
9, 8. Oh, are all women 10s? Y'all are 10s in delusion. I can tell you that. You guys have
An
my
objective
opinion.
view.
It's not my opinion.
is.
Right.
You view her. You said you would agree with a 7, right?
Yeah.
Someone else could view her as.
You're on par with the most beautiful women in the world.
And you think your own opinion.
I think I'm an average looking guy.
You think your own opinion about me.
It's an opinion because it doesn't jive with her worldview. It's mind over matter. She doesn't mind, and he doesn't matter. Let's be real about the whole thing. I accidentally hit the button. I'm trying to get back to where we were.
Yeah.
5 or a 10 or a 7.
But I
if
just
they're-
feel like you're speaking for every
Yeah, you
male.
can't-
Objective like rating because it comes down to like
Having false or unrealistic beliefs or opinions
Okay, here we are.
based on or having faulty judgment mistaken. So you don't dictate when it comes to
Is your
the
picture next
How
to
do
that
you-
definition?
Yeah, but how can you
How is
say
it-
you're delusional for thinking you're beautiful? Or like
So if
you're
I think
right.
I'm pretty,
a
I'm
10 in my
delusional. I
eyes.
have a mental
Yeah,
issue.
whatever.
No.
Okay, let me ask you guys a question.
Thank you, Matt.
Let me ask you guys.
Alright, well,
Yes,
that's literally what
if
you said.
you're like objectively unattractive or ugly, I'm not saying that anyone
Okay.
here at the table is, but let's say you're
I get
objectively like. Have you ever seen an ugly person?
No.
Yeah.
Have any, be honest, have you
Yes.
guys ever seen an ugly person?
Yes.
Yes.
Cap.
Okay.
No.
And if that person said, I am a 10 out of 10 in physical appearance, and
That increases their rating automatically.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I'm telling you. The delusion is off the scale at this point. And it's her. Great value Lady Gaga. Listen to this girl talk.
Automatically increases their rating.
Congrats.
That confidence.
Cool,
no,
you're
I
attracted
agree
to
with
people
you
who are
on that.
delusional.
I agree on you with that, but
Okay,
we're all pretty
but-
girls.
But no, you're not. You want to think that. You can tell yourselves that. But step outside. If guys were honest, and that, I'm telling you, we caused this mess. A lot of us caused this mess because we can't be honest about things like this to girls. I got to get to the panani, so I got to tell her what I need to tell her so I can get there. Yeah, you're pretty, you're beautiful, you're a queen, you're precious, you're a princess, you're 10, you go girl. And I would say that's a simp, but then again, as I've said before, every male has been a simp for her. You'll never hear them admit that. But it's the truth. Every male has been a simp for her. Or him, if you're so inclined. But for the purposes of this discussion, we're going to deal in the female. And every male, without exception, has been a simp for someone he's deemed as the one, her. And this one in the middle thinks she's an 8. I saw the Black and Decker Pecker records. How could you be an 8 with train tracks? Explain that to me. The math ain't mathin'. Your boyfriend told you what you needed to hear so he could have sex with you. He is your boyfriend because he wants to have sex with you. The math ain't mathin'.
Like you can't okay when there's like
You guys are attractive, but like I think you guys are mostly average looking. Like
okay,
I'm
Says-
but
sorry.
that's
says the
your
5.
opinion.
Just remember.
Yes,
Literally.
Again, insults. Says the 5. He said he was a 5. What are you saying? You said he's a 5 because he said he's a 5. He's being objective. He knows that there are guys out there that look better than him and other guys that he looks better than. That doesn't sound like delusion to me.
I'm an average looking guy. Like,
Don't worry about
But I also
you're-
feel like
I
how
think you
do
guys
but
are like
I do
average
think,
looking.
I do think that
Even
girls.
Y'all are average.
I
Sorry.
do think
Seven
that.
is above average.
Okay, I think that girls, when they do rate themselves too, I think it's easier for them to just accept themselves as being 10s because it's like, oh, that's self-love, instead of just being real with yourself and being like, hey, I can accept that there's probably better looking women than me, and that's okay.
That's the confident.
And
That
I
would be the
feel-
confident thing.
And I feel
What she says is true. and then watch her go mess it up.
That then you can kind of date within what is kind of more for you.
But saying you're a 10 doesn't mean you're saying you're more beautiful than every, like, there's no more
No,
than
you
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It's exactly what you're saying. Remember, a 10 is perfection. You're better than Beyonce. You're better than Kelly Rowland. You're better than Rihanna. You're it. And I haven't seen anybody on this panel that comes even close to Beyonce, who's on the low end of the scale. And she's an 8. You all don't even come close. Again, the math ain't math. Your delusion is way over the top.
Just saying,
I'm not talking.
hold on.
Totally.
When you say you're a 10, you're just saying you're as beautiful as the most beautiful women in the world.
Well, who's
That's
not
what
beautiful
you're saying.
women in the world?
I go back to
Regular
my
Brian.
same.
That's exactly what you're saying. And nothing you can say or do is going to change that. When you say you're a 10, you're right up there with the most beautiful women on the planet. I don't see any modeling contracts. I don't see any pictures on Vogue. I don't see any TV endorsements. And that's just an entry word. That's a model. That's 8. I don't see all guys craning their necks to see you as you walk by. You're average. Get over it.
Point. It's
Yes,
about
10 out of 10 means you are. There's nobody more beautiful
That's
than
not
you.
true at all.
That's
That's not true.
Do you know what?
That's not true. You're full of shit. I'm sorry. You're full of it. That's not true. Yes, it is. It might not be your truth, but it's the truth. And Miss Asia over here, she's checked out. Look, watch her. She'd rather be anywhere else but there. And she's dropping. Now she's a 6. She has the attention span of a gnat.
What 10 out of 10 means?
because it's
Do you know what
it's a
that
rating
means?
It's a
scale.
bullshit
10 is
scale,
the best.
yeah.
There's not. It's
It's
not
a
a bullshit scale.
It is.
It's not a bullshit
We
scale.
all were talking about our
Everyone's
preferences
different.
earlier, and not very many people brought up even looks at all.
Yeah.
So that's not.
I mean, you can
it's a
cap about
bullshit
not
scale.
caring about looks, but you don't.
It wasn't
get
top
to,
of the list. It was a top
but
of your
but
list.
fine, that's
Yeah.
fine. Maybe you guys don't care about men's physical attractiveness, which I think is fucking cap
We were talking
and
about each
bullshit. But you don't get to dictate your standing in the dating marketplace.
get our opinion.
Men-
We're going to put a pin in it. Because I need to get further into this. And it's getting kind of late. But what he's saying is true. Goes back out to fresh. You can think what you want inside all you want. You could be a 10. You could be a princess. You could be a queen. Come outside where the rest of us play. And we'll tell you what you are. And if enough of us tell you what you are, that becomes the market. So if you want to have this overinflated value of what you are, stay simping. But you don't want them. You don't want a simp. A simp will give you the moon, the stars, and everything else that they possibly could give them. But they don't want that. They want action. They want adventure. They want drama. They want a bad boy. But bad boys don't want you. I hate to be saying this. Bad boys don't want you. They want to sex you, but they don't want to get with you. The honest ones will tell you that. But they're also rare. That's the confirmed bachelor. Listen, I think you're really nice, and I love having sex with you and goofing around this and other thing, but that's as far as this is going to go. I don't want anything more than this. That's honesty. And girls don't want to hear that. I love honesty. No, you don't. Because when a guy tells you that, he becomes an idiot. He becomes misogynist. He becomes toxic. No, he's being honest. He's telling you what the deal is. And it's up to you to accept it or not. And 9 times out of 10, you don't accept it. Because it doesn't fit your worldview. But we're going to put a pin in it, as I said before. Stay tuned for part 2, where we're going to go further into this, and we're going to watch Brian's reaction to this continued debacle. Thank you all for watching this, if you got this far. We got a contest coming up. I got to put the particulars together, but it's gonna be worth it. I think you'll enjoy it. Thank you all for continuing to love and support us. We appreciate it. And as I said, we're about to make it worth your while. But until the next, this is OBJ telling you to be kind to one another. Be safe. We're out.